Credit can be super tricky. And it's one of those things that even though you think you understand the basics, there are a couple of tricks and things that you hidden gotchas that can happen that a lot of people just don't realize. We hear utilization, we hear make your payments on time, but we don't really understand what does that actually mean to our credit score when I say you want to keep your utilization low or you want to make sure you make your payments on time. So this is Recharging with Champions. This is your daily jumpstart. And I'm your host, Charlotte Harrill. And let's dive into two things today for your tips that you can share on your social media that will help people understand, one, the impact of paying on time and keeping utilization low when it comes to their credit score. So let's start with paying on time. Tip: paying your creditors on time means you do not let yourself get 30 days past due. So if that due date is on the 1st, you want to make sure that you pay that payment before the next due date of the 1st rolls around. So if you are 15 days late, you might have a late penalty, but that is not going to reflect on your credit. What reflects on your credit is when you are 30, 60, 90, 120 days late. So it is very important that you make sure that you are paying that bill before the 30 days late happens. That way it doesn't reflect poorly on your credit, because that, my friend, that's up to 100 points off of your credit score. And that doesn't rebuild quickly. So if you have that hit on your credit score because you were 30 days late, if it could be up to 100 points off. So if you had a 700, that drop you down to the 600s. And if you have that late, it doesn't rebound the next month. It is a very low rebound, 12, 18, 24, and it doesn't fall off for 7 years. Kind of a big deal. Step 2, utilization. And what do I mean by utilization? Let's go into specifically today on our tips and talk about going over the limit on a revolving. And remember, a revolving is like a credit card. If you go over the limit on your revolving credit card or on your revolving account, which can sometimes happen just with interest. So if I've maxed it out and then I'm making minimum payments, I might be going over the limit just with my interest payments, especially if I happen to pay late and get a late fee on top of that. So very important that you don't let yourself go over the limit. That also is like a 100-point hit. It can be 50 to 100-point hit on your credit score. Again, if you had a 700 and you were over utilization on one credit card, that could take you down to a 650 or even in the low 600s, just like that. Now, here's the beauty of utilization. Unlike the late payment on your credit, which is a slow slope back to recovery, utilization is a quick fix. If you had utilized your credit card and you're over the limit on it, but you get a nice lump sum of money and you pay that utilization down to 30% or below, your credit score is going to skyrocket right back up to where it was. So it's not a long-lasting negative, but it is a negative. First, pay on time because that negative is much longer. Second, don't go over the limit because it's going to really hurt your credit score. And if you are over the limit, get it down as quickly as you can to 30% utilization to really bolster your score. So those are your Tuesday tips here on Recharging with Champion. Hey, take a second and make a video if you want with this information, or remember, in the goodie, I do have a graphic already created for you. I've got the basics that I just went over in a post that you can just copy and paste and put right in your social media. But let's educate our borrowers. Let's educate our sphere so that when it is time for them to buy or sell or get some financing of any sort, we are the guru that's helping them save thousands upon thousands of dollars because their credit score is higher. Good luck in your social media today, and we will see you tomorrow.